Hello, Bamm. Thank you very much for asking us to do this presentation. It's about the Hackney Mosaic project. I'm going to talk for a little bit about the history of the project, and then my colleagues here, who are volunteers at the project, will talk a little bit about their experience. Then there'll be a slideshow where there'll be some pictures of the work that we've done around Hackney and elsewhere. And then at the end, there's a short film about an event we held recently here on Hackney Downs to celebrate the mosaic of the Hounds of Hackney Downs. I'm Tessa Hunkin, and I set up the Hackney Mosaic project back in 2011. Originally, it was an Olympic project. My idea was that because the Olympics started in the classical world and mosaics started in the classical world, it was obvious that we needed a mosaic to commemorate the London Olympics in 2012. Wasn't really obvious to anybody else, but I did manage, after a lot of work, to persuade Hackney to go with the idea. And I did this in conjunction with the Hackney Recovery Services. I wanted to do a Roman-style mosaic because it occurred to me that it might be a way of making a community mosaic that worked rather well. I was a professional mosaicist, and to be honest, I was often a little bit disappointed by community mosaic. And I thought by going back to the Roman tradition, it would give everybody a kind of style that they could follow, so it would unify the work. And although it would be the work of many hands, it would all kind of hang together in a way that sometimes community mosaics don't so much. And the other idea behind the project was to use the therapeutic aspects of mosaic. I know professional mosaicists find this a hard concept to grapple with because obviously if you do anything professionally, it's incredibly stressful and doesn't feel like therapy at all. But there is something about working with your hands that is very calming, and it kind of interferes with the normal patterns of thought and gives you a little holiday from your head, perhaps. I don't know. It's always worked for me, and I suppose that's why I thought it might work for other people. If I've ever been upset by anything, my first instinct is to go and make something, and then often I feel a little bit better. And it does seem to have worked here, in that it's now 10 years on, and although the project started as only for 6 months, we're still going. People enjoyed doing it, and so here we are. It's grown a bit since, or it's developed in various different ways. One thing we do is we go out and we do projects with other groups, schools and hospitals and things like that. And by doing that, we recruit people from other areas. Or local people are encouraged to join as well. I think it's important that the project is defined by mosaic, by what we do and what we're interested in, rather than the particular problems that people may have. So it's nice that it's a very mixed group. And the other way it's developed is that people make their own work. You've seen all the examples on the wall behind me. It's an incredibly varied and interesting collection of different approaches to mosaic. And it helps us to raise money to keep the project going. I know the project has been a great success for me because it's allowed me to do what I wanted to do, and I wanted to make large mosaics in public places. I think cities should be entertaining, and I don't see myself as an artist really, but a designer and maybe an entertainer in a way, and I hope over the years I've been able to make Hackney a bit more entertaining. And now I'm going to pass over to my colleagues, and they can talk about their experience of the project.
Hello, my name's Ken Edwards. I joined the Mosaic project in 2012, about 8 months after it had started. I was told about the project while I was at a recovery service, and I thought, well, I'll give it a try. When I went to the project, my first impression was, as I went in the door, oh my gosh, when I looked and I saw a man sitting at a table cutting extremely small tiles, even smaller. And I thought, well, No, he was cutting them into different shapes. He looked up and said hello, and then I heard a voice say to me, "Hi, are you Ken?" And it was Tessa. Tessa come along and explained to me about the Mosaic project, and then she took me up to Shepherdess Walk Park to show me what they'd been working on so far. I thought to myself, well, I'd seen Mosaic work on TV, but it was mainly in films, and it was like big tiles. It was awe-inspiring what I saw, so I went back to the shop, but I was still in two minds about joining the group. But my plan was to say to Tessa that I was going to come back the next time and give it a go, but I think Tessa kind of read my mind or knew what I was thinking, because she instinctively said to me, "Oh, you can sit here next to Mark and he will show you what to do and if I'm not about." Tessa then went away and she came back with some cutters and some nibblers, and she showed me how to use them. And then she appeared with, well, a piece of brown paper with half a circle on it with some lines, and told me that was what I had to do. I was still a bit nervous about doing the mosaic, because being brought up with a dad who was a builder, I'm used to working with big things, not tiny. But after the initial half an hour, I got the hang of it, and I thought that I could get on with this. And I continued doing it, and when 5 o'clock came out, I found myself pretty upset that it was coming to a close. And on leaving, I couldn't wait for the next time to come back. I hear people saying about the mosaic work being therapeutic. To me, I feel that mosaic work to me is calming and soothing. You know, you leave home and you got problems at home, you come to the mosaic project, it's gone away, it all goes away. You just get down and your mind's on what you're doing. You get on the bus coming to the mosaic project and somebody upsets you, it's gone. So to me, it's somewhere where I feel safe and I feel happy. I call the mosaic project my second family. When people ask me about mosaic work, the easiest way that I describe it to them is I say to them, it's like doing a jigsaw puzzle, but all you got is a blank surface with an outline on it, and you have to cut your own pieces, make your own colour, and choose your own colours, and then get on with it. And as I said, I've been here now over 9 years. I'm the secretary of the project, and well, it's helped me in my sobriety, it's helped me in a lot of ways. Mosaic is a good form of making gifts for people, wedding presents for people who, well, if they've already got a flat, they've got everything in it, and if you make them something, it's something special. So to me, I'm glad that the Mosaic project went on longer than the 6 months, and I'm hopeful that it will continue to go on, because I really enjoy and love being here. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Nicky Turner. I started doing mosaic in 2011. Tessa come to where I was working in Hanbury, Shoreditch, and done a small demonstration. I went and met up with her the following week, and she gave me a little board and said, just do your initials to your name. So I just done NT, and it was fairly easy, and I had it finished the following week. And then Tessa said, that's very good. Would you like to get involved and do something a bit more sort of bigger and more work? And I said, yes, I would. And I decided to do a mosaic of the Princess Diana, Princess of Wales. Not even Tessa said it's not something I would even attempt in doing. It's a bit out of my range. But I said, no, it's something I want to do. I feel very, very sort of blessed and happy about her. It's something I would like to do. And it took me 6 months in the end to start and finish it. It's since been sold to a friend of mine from church for £400 in cash. I've also done other mosaics since then. This is one of a person called Christopher Cornell. He was a singer, band member of a band called Soundgarden, and he was unfortunately, after a gig, was found hanging from his neck after a gig, and his friend tried to save him, but he was too late, and he passed away. And I was rather upset because he's someone from when I first started driving that I listened to in my car. I've done this mosaic, but it's not really a mosaic of I would like to sell. This is something I'd like to keep for myself. It feels very personal to me. Tessa has always helped, and she's been very good. Anything I want to try and do, Tessa's always been there to give me her opinion and her help. And I'd like to carry on doing mosaic for the rest of my life. Thank you. God bless.
My name's David Lilly. I didn't find the project, the Hackney Mosaic Project found me. I was near the end of a short stay in St Anne's Psychiatric Hospital in Haringey, and was encouraged to come and work on the project, who were preparing a mosaic for the hospital. I'm a trained artist, so I was initially sceptical about whether I would enjoy it, but I did enjoy it, and I was encouraged to return to the hospital on a weekly basis, which was very helpful in terms of combating the stigma of being in a psychiatric hospital, because it's a very difficult environment to be in. And so I came back for a number of weeks, and then after the project there finished, I was encouraged to come to Hackney Downs to join the project on a permanent basis. And so I've now been with the project for about 5 years, and it's been tremendously therapeutic. For lots of reasons. One of the big things is being part of a community and working in a very, you put aside your ego, we join together on projects, and we support each other, and it's that in itself is a very helpful thing. But the activity itself is also very therapeutic, and it's a combination of mindfulness and mindlessness. Mindful in that you are very focused, particularly in my version of the activity. I become very focused on detail and cutting shapes, and I spend far too long on it. But that's a very, in itself, is a very as Tessa alluded to, it's very much you put aside your mind, your problems, your worries, and focus on what you're doing. But it's also mindless in that you can also do it in a very automatic way and be engaged with the people around you and chatting and laughing and all those things. So it's a really interesting combination of different helpful mental and physical activities. In lockdown, I found that I wasn't really doing it at home. Like a lot of people, I had lots of good intentions for doing things at home that didn't. So, and I know this is quite a common experience. However, the project was able to, in a limited way, resume fairly soon after the first lockdown. And so it gave another piece of structure back to help carry me and everyone else through that period, and it continues to do that. The other thing that's really great about, one of the many things that's really great about this project is coming to Hackney Downs and all the dogs, which you will see more about in this video. the dogs are fantastic and tremendously therapeutic in and of themselves. So that's been something that's really enjoyable.